What's up, guys? What is going on? Give me one sec. I'm just trying to get some metadata set up, some tags and stuff, and then I will be right with you and we will jump right into this. But thanks for the patience, much appreciated. And I will be right with y'all. Coach K, it is a huge update, dude. Huge. 21 megabytes, I think it is. Dude, it's massive. It took me like, I want to say it took an hour to download. Yeah, I want to say it took an hour to download. Yeah, dude, it took mine an hour, and it's stupid big. The update is huge, but hopefully they patched a bunch of stuff, and that's why. But I appreciate the patience, guys. Once again, I'm just trying to get some metadata set up and just get some tags in my stream, and then we will be off and running. Coach, how long has it been downloading for you? How long have you been downloading it? I think we are all set, guys. I think we are all set. Let me just save these changes and we can get going. So that looks good. I think we are set pretty sure we are set, so let's get rolling, guys. Hey, what's up, Karam? What's going on, Water King? What's up, guys? What is up? Appreciate y'all stopping by. Karam, I see you, buddy. How you doing? But thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope y'all are having a good day. But let's get going. Let's get playing as I continue my my climb towards rank 155. But thanks for tuning in, fellas. Leedy, what's up, man? Fire Destroyer, I see you, buddy. How are you? How are you, man? Fire Destroyer, we are definitely doing trivia on Friday. That's a definite, man. We are definitely doing trivia on Friday. That's a fact. So no worries there, my guy. We are definitely doing trivia. And apparently the chat has froze on the screen, so I'm gonna be going off of another screen, my laptop screen for the chat. So sorry if I miss you guys' comments, but I will do the best I can. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Fire says he's gonna win for Boston. We're gonna find out, man. We're definitely gonna find out. I also apologize for the squeaky ass gaming chair. Sorry about that. I gotta get me a new one. But away we go, guys. We are almost there. We are at rank 150. Fire, I do not have Madden. I have a bunch of games on back order. Madden's on back order. Madden is on back order for me, and Mortal Kombat 11 is on back order for me, and there was one more. There was one more on back order. I forget what it was, though. But I do have a bunch of games. I do have a bunch of games on back order.
Enemy at the center. I'm taking fire. Throwing smoke. Taking fire. I'm taking fire.
So hopefully I'll be getting those soon. I do have yeah, Coach, it's crossbow time. I am trying to get this crossbow golden. I need 10 more long shots for that, Coach. So we're gonna try and use the crossbow pretty much the whole time we're playing today, guys.
Enemy at the center.
So for the duration of this stream, I think we're gonna stick with the crossbow.
Active bomb on Bravo. Move in.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Much appreciated.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Much appreciated. Hope y'all are having a good day. We are almost to the long weekend. Almost into the long weekend and Memorial Day. So get that extra day to relax and just kind of hang out. Get that extra day to just kind of relax and hang out.
Reloading.
On to the next round. Pick it up. Switching sides. Demolition.
How's the audio, guys? Can you hear the gameplay good, and can you hear the
those positions.
Can you hear the gameplay good, and can you hear my microphone good? Is the how are we looking for the audio? Is it sounding good?
Watch where you shoot!
Oh, I shot my teammate. Damn. Out of the way. Idiot walked right in front of me. Perfect. Nice fire destroyer. That is good, because YouTube lately has been doing YouTube things and everything's been going all to shit. But that doesn't surprise me, because those nerds at YouTube headquarters are not working, correcting everything. So, not surprising.
Planting bomb on target. Keep eyes open.
But like I said, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Much appreciated.
Set the perimeter.
I hope everybody had a good day. Like I said, if you missed it, if you're just kind of coming in here, I'm going to stick with the crossbow for the duration of this stream. I'm trying to get the crossbow golden. I have the over and under shotgun as a golden shotgun, so I'm trying to do the same with this crossbow. So we're going to stick with that for probably the duration of this stream.
The enemy has defused our bomb. Planting bomb on target. Keep eyes open. Bomb planted. Set the perimeter.
What do you fire destroyer? What's that? What as in like diamond the high school? What are you talking about with that? I don't understand what you're talking about, buddy.
UAV overhead.
I don't understand what you are talking about, my guy.
We're planting the bomb. Secure the area. Bomb planted. Set the perimeter.
I really wish YouTube would put their nerds back to work, so my chat wouldn't freeze all the time, so I could actually talk to you guys. But clearly, California is full of liberal idiots, and they don't like to do much of anything. So I doubt we're gonna get YouTube people back working anytime soon.
Care package ready. Enemy personal radar over. Allied cluster strike incoming.
No, I still got a long way to go with that. I still got a long way to go with that fire. I still got a long way to go with that. I've only had this game for like 3 weeks or a month, something like that. Probably 3.5 weeks.
Demolition.
Hey, Roy and Becky, what's going on? Sorry, I'm missing the comments, guys, because my chat froze up on the screen. So I'm relying on my secondary screen here. So I apologize if I miss your comment.
Good copy. Tiger 2-3 on approach for drop. Sentry gun on station. Enemy bomb planted. Locate and defuse.
I'm with you.
But I got a question for you guys in the chat.
Bomb planted. Begin countdown.
I got a question for you guys in the chat. Sports related question, even though we're doing a little bit of gaming. Even though we're doing a little bit of gaming, sports related question for y'all. What was your, since I'm anticipating getting sports back pretty soon, what was your favorite? Okay, wait, we'll do this. We'll do top 3 favorite sporting moments in your lifetime. So, Fire, yours are going to be different than mine because obviously I've seen a lot more sports than you. But in your lifetime, guys, what are the top 3? What are the top 3 coolest sporting moments you've got to experience?
Me at the office. Reloading.
Friendly
I'll let
ship
you guys
deployed.
list off yours, and then I'll give you mine.
Enemy at the dumpster.
But that's my question for y'all. So give me the top 3 coolest sporting moments you've got to see in your lifetime.
Enemy bomb planted. Enemy personal radar open. Enemy cruise missile.
Reloading. Enemy at the cargo container.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who don't know, yeah, bro, you're getting banned. How about you get banned, buddy? How about you get banned? Can one of my mods take care of that? How about somebody ban him? Please and thank you.
Abort mission. Regroup.
And also, bud, I'm using a crossbow because I'm trying to complete a task. You stupid troll. I could use any other weapons that I have, but I'm using a crossbow. Probably one of the slowest guns in the game, you idiot. That's Roy and Becky. Are you guys from the Indianapolis area? Are you guys from? Are you guys Colts fans?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. I see. Cool. I did not know that. Cool. Peyton Manning going back to Indy was pretty cool. I remember watching that game on TV. I remember watching that game on TV.
Active bomb on Bravo. Move in.
Liddy, seeing your team, so you got to see the Steelers win the Super Bowl. That's anytime, dude. Anytime you get to see your team win a title, it's pretty cool. It's a cool feeling. Anytime, whether it's college, you know, whether it's college or professional, you know, anytime you get to see your basketball team or your, you know, basketball, baseball, football team, any professional team, anytime you get to see them win a title, it's something special. I've been to 3 Patriots parades.
Active bomb on Alpha.
They're something else, man. It's victory parades are awesome. I've had the good fortune to go to 3 of the Patriots 3 of the Pats victory parades, and I went to 1 of the Red Sox. So we're very, very fortunate here up in New England to have the sports as good as we do.
Enemy at the hotel.
We're very fortunate to have it as good as we do in New England. I did see the Celtics win a title. I didn't see it in person, but I did watch it. That 2008 title was something else, man. That was awesome. Seeing Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett kiss the Celtics logo at center court as time ran down there. That was something special. That one was a long time coming. That Celtics title was a long time coming. It was that was awesome. I remember watching that one live. That was pretty cool. Hey, Sand Creek in here? Oh, that's good news, man. Sorry, guys. Alright, I apologize. I gotta try and concentrate here so I don't look like a fool in this game. So I apologize if I'm missing anybody's comments. As soon as I get a break, I will address the chat. Unfortunately, the chat on the screen has froze. So once again, my moderators, if you guys can just make sure everybody knows that I'm not ignoring people. I just need to concentrate a little bit.
Reloading.
Our bomb is defused. Target intact. Planting bomb on target. Keep eyes open.
That is good news, though, Sand Creek. That is very good news, my dude. That's good to hear. Hopefully the next step you'll be going home, man. Hopefully the next step they will be sending you home, brother.
Our bomb is defused. Target intact. 1 minute remaining.
Right behind you.
Target down.
We're planting the bomb. Secure the area. Bomb planted. Set the perimeter.
Right behind you.
I hope, man. Like I said, I hope they send you home, brother.
Allied precision
I really
airstrike
hope they
incoming.
do.
Be aware.
round, guys. There we go. Blew it up. Moving on to the next objective. Go get this one now.
We're planting the bomb. Secure
There
the
you
area.
go. Plant it.
Bomb planted. Set the perimeter. Friendly put overwatch.
Oh, I missed that guy. That's the downfall with these with this crossbow. Once you miss, it takes like 10 seconds to reload it. So you get one good shot, and you better make it count. You get one good shot, and you better make it count, or you will struggle. There we go. Won that round.
Next round to crush them.
I believe we get an overtime round now. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope everybody's having a good day. Coach K, if you're still in here, man, Coach K, and if any of y'all are in here and you want to jump in, I will gladly play with any of y'all. If you got PS4 and you got Call of Duty, add me up, and we'll put you on stream, and you can come and hang out with and play some COD with me for a bit. Cause I plan on playing this for probably a couple hours.
Enemy cluster
Yeah,
strike.
yeah,
Cover.
fire. It is. Yep. Yup. You miss and you're done. It is a one shot, one kill.
Enemy bomb planted.
You kind of got to sneak up on people too. That's the. You got to get pretty close. Getting a long shot in is not easy. The best part is after the kill cams are funny because they show the arrow sticking out of the tube. Oh, I missed him. Afterwards, when you get him, you can walk up to him and you can see the arrow sticking out of him where you shot him. It's pretty funny. I didn't realize it at first, but it is pretty funny. Oh, we gotta disarm that or they're gonna win. Oh, I'm getting shot.
The fuse has been pulled. Good. Planting bomb.
Get in there, man. There you go. Nice. Good job, guys.
Enemy in their midst.
Good
Bomb
job.
planted. Set the perimeter.
We gotta defend it now. Kinda hard to find these guys. Where they? Oh, there they are. They're shooting at me.
Attack!
Oh, I tried to run away from that stupid
Enemy
gas.
near Main Street.
Stupid gas grenade. Are we gonna win? Did they? Oh, they defused. Oh, did we? No, it blew up. There we go. Won that one, so we win that
Mission
game.
accomplished. Regroup. Return to base.
That's a good way to start off. I don't follow too much college, man. I don't follow too much college. If I was gonna give you guys my top three coolest sporting events I've ever, or sporting moments I've ever got to see, it would be the Patriots and Raiders game in the old Patriots Stadium before they built Gillette. Schaefer Stadium, the old Pat Stadium. I watched I got to see Adam Vinatieri kick that winning field goal into the snow in a blizzard. I'll never forget that kick. That was the Tuck Rule game. That was the Tuck Rule game. I watched that live on TV, man, and I went from the lowest of lows emotion to the top of the world Vinatieri, that was probably the most incredible field goal I've ever seen. He kicked that thing into about a 30-mile-an-hour wind and a blizzard, and I still can't, to this day, can't believe that football actually made it through those uprights. So that would be number 3. That would be number 3. Number 2 would be the Roy and Becky, it did. Hey man, I actually got a I actually have a it's hanging up it's hanging up in my brother's house because I don't have any room for it. But I have a signed autograph. I have an autographed Adam Vinatieri picture of him kicking that field goal. He was signing autographs at Emerald Square Mall, and I remember I bought that picture of him. It was probably like a 2 foot by 2 foot, really nice printed framed picture, and I bought it. And I heard that he was signing autographs at one of the local malls around me at the time. So I stood in line and I waited, and I got it. He signed it. He actually signed it for me. And I don't have enough room in my apartment to hang it. So I gave it to my brother, and it's hanging up at his house actually. But it was. So that's definitely on the list. So and then the final one would have to be a tie between it would have to be a tie between the geez, I'm getting killed all over the place. Probably be a tie between the Red Sox first World Series in '04 and the Atlanta Falcons Patriots comeback, the Pats comeback against the Falcons. I couldn't believe they won that game. What Brady and the team did in that game was insane.
Safe side!
Leedy Vinatieri's he was really good for a really long time. And I mean a really long time. Vinatieri was very good for an exceptional amount of time. That dude was something else. He could kick, and he was accurate, and he was consistent. The dude was the man. He was the man in New England for a long time. I mean when it came to clutch field goals, he was the dude. Vinatieri was the dude. Vinatieri was that guy. Leedy, I bet you were losing your mind, man, along with the rest of the NFL. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. That comeback against Atlanta was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I can't believe, dude, I can't believe that the Falcons blew that Super Bowl. Like, I cannot believe they blew it.
Enemy first tornado in the air.
How do you lose that game, man? How do you? I really realistically don't have an answer for that. How do you realistically lose that game? Being up that many points with you know.
Enemy at the container.
like 3 minutes to go in the third. 3 minutes to go in the third. That's like, if you, realistically, that's 18 minutes to go. 18 minutes, and you couldn't hold a team off for 18 minutes. Dude, like, if the entire Atlanta Falcons staff should have been fired. Every one of them should have got fired. That kind of a loss should get people fired. That type of a loss should get people fired. I couldn't believe they lost.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover.
Lady, tell me this, bro. I'm gonna ask you a question. Lady, we need an umpires union. We need an umpires union for baseball, for basketball, and for football, because these blown calls and just the terrible officiating. Bro, we need an umpires union. To train these guys and to you know what I mean? Like we have to. I mean, the NFL's being too greedy with this crap, man. We got to do something. The league has to do something. I'm truly getting tired of just all the blown calls, all the bad officiating, and you name it. Any sport, it doesn't matter. Basketball, baseball, football. Just the horrid officiating. Horrid officiating, dude, is it's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, it's been bad for a while. Teams are losing games because of bad officiating. These professional leagues, the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB have to do something about it. Hey, Wild Bill, what's up, bro? Leedy, it's been terrible, dude. It's been awful for 5 years. The officiating has been awful for 3 to 5 years, dude. It's been terrible. They have to do something about it, and you can't tell me they don't have the money to do it. You cannot tell me that the NFL, that's a $40 billion a year industry, can't. You're telling me that they can't take, like, call it $5 or $10 million out of that. Call it $5 or $10 million out of that $40 billion, and pay these officials. Maybe 20 million out of for everything, but just for every sport. You can't tell me that they're just greedy, dude. They're just greedy and they don't want to do it because they absolutely have the funding to do it. They just don't want it. They're too greedy. They can't stomach that 1% of that revenue isn't going back in their pockets. You know what I mean? Dude, it's infuriating because there's a solution to the problem, and these leagues know it. They know the solution. They're just too greedy to do it. And like that's what's it's absolutely infuriating. I tried to move out of the way. I
Enemy personal
was trying to
radar
get
in
both
the
of those dudes. All right, Wild Bill, have a good night, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
Leedy, that was a catch, dude. That was a catch. Jesse James caught that ball, and the freaking and the league knows it. I know it, and I'm a Patriot fan. Jesse James caught that football, and y'all got hosed. And this is coming from a Patriot fan. That's coming from a Pats fan too, dude. Y'all got hosed on that call. Oh, didn't see him. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, stupid barrel, shot that arrow right in the barrel. Look at that, shot that arrow right in the barrel. There's the hole right there. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I am this Friday. We're going to be doing a 12-hour charity stream. Everything is every bit of revenue from it. So that's anything from the and hide it in the corner like that. Come on, man. Anything, any revenue from it. So that's ad revenue or super chats or any type of ad revenue from that stream on Friday, starting Friday afternoon. We're going for 12 hours. I'm going to be donating it to the Massachusetts COVID-19 Relief Fund. So that'll be starting Friday afternoon, probably sometime around 3 o'clock p.m. We're going to go from 3 o'clock p.m. on Friday to 3 o'clock a.m. on Saturday. 12-hour stream. 12 hours charity stream for COVID-19 relief. So everything that gets, every bit of revenue coming from that stream is going to go straight into that fund.
Care package arriving on station.
But I'm looking forward to that, man. I don't know. 12 hours is a long time. That's going to, I'm going to have to set some stuff up ahead of time with some food and other stuff. I'm going to have to, like, get me some Hot Pockets or something easy that I can kind of eat on the go. But that's the plan. That's the plan for Friday. Should be fun though. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Leedy, you want to hear a funny story? Funny drunken story about going to a Patriots game. I'll tell you this one, man. The butcher had a little your boy Bobby had a little too much to drink one Pats game, and it didn't end up too well. I didn't get arrested or anything, but I did definitely embarrass myself. Walking out of the stadium, or I should say, walking on the mezzanine to get out of the stadium, I kind of misjudged where one of the large steel I-beams was going to be, and walked straight into it and knocked myself square on the ground, dude. Walked straight into it and knocked myself almost square unconscious, but put myself right on my ass, man. Straight into that big I-beam and right on the ground. Your boy was hurting after that.
Go away.
Butcher had a little too much to drink that afternoon. It was worth it, though. The Patriots won, so it was worth it. It was worth it.
Ready for drop.
It was worth the embarrassment. Hey, that's my care package, asshole. Get your own. But yeah, that was an interesting night. I had a lot to drink that afternoon. There was definitely some recovery time. That's pretty funny, lady. That's pretty funny, man. I think I spent like 2 days recovering from that afternoon, dude. I had a lot to drink. It was bad.
Mission time critical. Get it done. Enemy personal radar in the air.
Yeah, I had a lot to drink that afternoon. So for those of you guys who don't know, I mean, not to get all personal on you guys, but I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of I don't think people have asked about it. I've talked to a couple people about it, but I don't think I've ever told the full story about how I had to have emergency brain surgery in, I want to say 2008 now. I want to say it was. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have ever heard me talk about it. There's only 3 of you, so I don't know who's in here. I know Liddy's in here. Dude, I would be laughing too. I don't know who's in here, but if you guys, I know you're in here, Liddy. But who's the other 2 people that are in here? I don't know if I've ever told you guys that full story. It is kind of a crazy story, though. But yeah, that was my brain. I had to have brain surgery back in I should say emergency brain surgery back in 2008. Maybe 2000. Hold on, I graduated in there for maybe 2007, 2008. Sometime. It's been a long time since. It was either 2007 or 2008. I think it was 2008 because it turned over because it was February when I had the yeah. So it had just turned into 2008. So I had to have. So first of all, we'll backtrack to. We'll kind of rewind you guys to 2004. So 04, my senior year in high school, I joined the Army National Guard. Straight, oh, sorry guys. Wrong button. I joined the Army National Guard. straight out of high school. So, that summer, that summer of 2000, summer of 04, I enlisted and joined the Guard, and I left for basic training in I believe it was I think July. Yes. End of June, early July. I think it was before. It was definitely before the 4th of July. So, anyways, I left for basic training, and graduated basic training. Went through the hell of basic training, which I can tell you guys all about. During the 12-hour stream, we'll have some fun stories about basic training. But I went through basic training, graduated basic training, and moved on to the National Guard's specialized training for combat engineers. I was going through that, and at the
why are you telling us?
somewhere in the middle of my AI, they call it AIT. It's basically the specialized, your branch enlistment specialized training. So I was going through that, and halfway through it, maybe even like 3/4. It was pretty close to graduation time for AIT, and we were at that point. The drill instructors they have a lot more respect for you, so we they kind of looked at us as more of like, we kind of looked at them more as a father figure more than anything, and since we were away from our family, so we kind of got to know them, and they got to know us, and they would kind of ask us, when we were getting close to graduation, there wasn't really much going on, so they would ask us what you guys wanted to do. What do you guys, do you want to go to the obstacle course? Do you want to do this today? Do you want to shoot? Do you want to do? So they gave us a bunch of options, and most of the time, we picked the obstacle course. So this was like no other, any other time. We said, yeah, let's go to the obstacle course, and I was messing around. We were messing around in the obstacle course, having some fun. And there's an obstacle course. I don't know if I can paint this picture for you guys. Hey Elias, how you doing, brother? I'm gonna try and give you guys as good a visual as I can give you. Picture like a log pyramid, and the logs are spaced out like, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3, probably 3 feet in between each log, and you have to go up one side of the log and up one side of the pyramid and down the other side, and you have to go under one log and over the other. So I don't know if that's clear, but that was the obstacle and what it looked like, kind of like a log pyramid, but the logs were spaced out, and you had to go under one, over another, under one, over another. And I basically got to the top of that. That obstacle, and I went to go kind of transition to the other side of it, and I let go. I was kind of hugging the top log, and in order to transition, you have to, you basically have to kind of spider monkey it, and hang on with 2 limbs, and then grab the other log with the other 2 limbs, and so I let go of my right leg and my right arm, and I went to go swing them to the next log to, just to continue down the other side of this obstacle, and my left leg gave out, and it basically, it literally just slipped off the log, and it threw me off balance, and I fell. I want to say, I don't know, maybe 15 foot, and landed square on the, I got whiplash, so my ass hit first, and then my back, and then it kind of just threw my head into the dirt, the back of my head into the dirt, pretty hard, and I knocked myself out for I don't know how long. I asked the drill instructors, if I was unconscious, and I had knocked myself out. if I had to guess, it seemed like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Came to, and they kind of set me up, and I was a little woozy, but continued on. We obviously in boot camp and AIT you march everywhere, so we hooked it back to the barracks, and we were going to continue, basically continue on with the day with some hand-to-hand combat training, and we got back to the barracks, and getting ready to do this hand-to-hand combat stuff, and I just started getting real dizzy, and basically couldn't stand up, so I had to sit down, and two of my battle buddies helped me to the ground. I took a seat, and the drill instructors talked to me for probably, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and ultimately we decided that it wasn't a good idea that I went through, because I was really dizzy. I had thrown up maybe twice, I think, and so they stuffed me in the back of a big 6.5, and they drove me to the hospital on base, and they put me through about 2 hours of testing. I had a bunch of X-rays done. I had a CAT scan, an MRI, and I sat there for basically probably a good part of the day. I think I made it back for dinner time. They took a bunch of tests, and they
Enemy at the center.
They said that they saw something that they didn't really like, but they weren't really kind of really detailed with me. They just said, something's not right here, and it looks like you have looks like you have some sort. I still remember it. They called it an arachnoid cyst. It's basically just a fluid-filled cyst in your head. Most people that have them are they're just benign, and they just sit there and they're harmless for the most part. But they said you have this cyst, and it's there, and we don't, normally they don't, they don't cause any harm or anything like that, but my kind of dizziness and headaches, and that's another thing. Ever since I had fallen off the obstacle and whacked my head really hard, I had it seemed like a constant headache. So they said, you have this cyst, and normally it's harmless, but unfortunately we can't really take any risks. We don't know what we're gonna do at this time with you. We're gonna kind of put you in a holding pattern for a bit until we kind of figure out. We're gonna get some specialists to look at this stuff, and kind of get their opinion on what they think. So I said, okay, what do you guys want me to do in the meantime? And they said, we can put you in a holding battalion. We'll just continue, we'll just keep you in a holding battalion until we figure out what we're going to do with you, and we'll insert you into a battalion when we figure out what we're going to do. So that took, I want to say I waited about a week for a decision on that, and then they finally got back to me, and they said, well, we're going to discharge you. We're going to honorably discharge you because we can't take any risks with this thing. we can't take any risks with this thing, and we don't want to send you overseas. We don't want to send you overseas and have something happen to you. So they said, all right, we're going to honorably discharge you. I said, okay, that sucks, but you know, can I kind of make my case to stay? And they said, not really. So they honorably discharged me and sent me home. I shouldn't say just sent me home. They waited. It took me 3 weeks to go home. I don't know what took so long, but they were farting around with my plans to go. You know, my plans to go home, and it took a let's just say a phone call from an extremely pissed off mother to and it takes a badass mom to yell at a 5-star general, because my mother yelled at a 5-star general to get me home. And one thing you don't do is you don't piss off an Italian mom. That's what you don't do, because they just don't care. They'll hunt you down. So my mom got on the phone, and after she yelled at this 5-star general, I was home in 3 days. But so, anyways, the story kind of continues. I get home, and I'll speed it up. I know it's kind of been a long story, but I get home, and I'm still going through really bad headaches, really bad headaches, migraine style headaches, where they're debilitating. I can't do anything. I can't. Like all I can do is sleep them off, and even then they don't go away. I was eating for probably a year and a half after I was sent home. I was eating eating Tylenol like they were Skittles, because I was constantly in pain from migraines from this accident. And we eventually, after about a year and a half, we eventually decided to switch doctors. So switch kind of, I had a team of doctors for this thing monitoring it, because my symptoms were just continuous and they were not going away. So we decided to switch hospitals and switch doctors, and we switched to Children's Hospital in Boston. And they said, well, since we're going to be monitoring you, we are going to take your kind of previous scans and look at them, and then, but we also want our own. So we want our own scans, we want our own everything. So I had to go we booked the day. We booked a day, and I went in there, and we did about 6 hours worth of tests between MRIs, MREs. MRE is basically looking at the blood vessels in your blood vessels, and how freely they flow, from what I understand, in your brain. And then they did all sorts of brain activity, cognitive tests on me as well. And it took probably maybe 36 hours. I want to say like 24 hours, because it was either the morning after or the next morning after, where we my father got a phone call. I was in my CDL training at the time being. So my father gets a phone call, and he calls me up on the cell phone. He calls me up on my phone, and he says to me, he goes, apparently the doctors saw something that they did not like, and he knew all of this before. He basically, I'm going to tell you this ahead of time. It was a lot worse than he was letting on. He basically told me, this is what he told me. He said that the doctors had seen something in some of the scans that they did not like, and I need to come home immediately, and we need to go back to the hospital. Now, what was really said, I found out later, and
Our objective was destroyed.
because the doctors also called my mother, and my father had talked to my mom. Sorry, I'm dying all over the place here, guys. My father had talked to my mother, and the real story was that the team called them, and they were and they said to my father, "You need to get they need to get your son in here. You need to get your son in here immediately, as soon as you can. We don't like something on the scans, and we need to do some further research because we really do not, you know, they wouldn't exactly tell my parents what it was, but because I don't think they were certain until they did more research on it and further tests, but they did say we need to get your son back here immediately. Like, you need to call him now and get him back there.
Good job.
So they call me, and we basically stop everything I was doing. I left my commercial, you know, my CDL training course, and went back, and we went into the hospital. And I remember sitting there. I was probably sitting there for 3 hours, and I was pissed off and frustrated. And I was I think I was 19 at the time. Sitting there, pissed off, 19. I had a Dropkick Murphys concert to go to that night, and I remember looking right at the nurse, and saying, "said I have a concert to go to. You guys need to hurry this shit up and tell me what's going on, or I'm going to ask to be discharged, and you need to get me the hell out of here because I'm sick of waiting and just sitting here doing nothing." And I remember that little nurse looked back at me, and she said, "Bud, you are not going anywhere. We're trying to get you admitted, and you are more than likely going to have emergency brain surgery tomorrow morning." She looked me square in the eye and said that to me. She said, she said, "The doctor's going to be in here to talk to you in probably about 10 minutes. So we waited probably, I don't know, maybe a half hour. It was definitely more than 10 minutes. And the doctor comes in, and he says, your arachnoid cyst that normally is harmless has torn open and has been slowly leaking fluid into your cranial cavity, putting pressure on your brain, and there is a clot of fluid the size of a baseball in your head, and we're doing emergency surgery on you in the morning, and right now we're trying to find you a bed, and you ain't going anywhere, so cancel that concert." And I remember my jaw hit the floor, and they about 2 hours later they stuck an IV, you know, they stuck me with all the IV stuff and admitted me and put me in a bed. And the next morning at, I believe it was I want to say 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 or 8 in the morning, I had my 4.5 hour emergency brain surgery, and I guess I woke up. I came out of it well, and I gave my uncle and my dad a fist bump, and then went back to sleep and didn't wake up until what's up, Enzo? I see you, brother. Didn't wake up until about 10 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock that night. It was definitely dark when I woke up. And I remember getting up, and I remember having to take a leak really bad, so I basically just scooted my ass to the edge of the hospital bed, hopped out, and I had my little wheelie thing for the IV attached to my arm, and I shuffled my butt over into the bathroom and took a leak, and then got back in bed, and I came back to bed, and there was about seven nurses that came running into the room because apparently I had pulled my heart monitor off, and so it registered as a flat line. So I had about 6 or 7 nurses in there. They came running in, and they were like, "What are you doing? You just had emergency brain surgery." And I looked right at them, and I was still 3/4 of the way asleep, and I said, I had to take a leak. And then I just crawled back in bed and went to sleep. And
Not done yet.
the
Make it
doctor
happen.
came in the next morning. The doctor came in the next morning and was talking to me, and he said, "How you feeling?" He goes, "You have any headaches?" I said, "No, man. I'm fine. I'm finally, finally pain free. I have no headache. The incision spot's a little sore, but
Target's
outside
ID
of that,
destroys those positions.
and my chest is a little sore." And he said, "Well, that's where we had to we put a drain basically down into your stomach." So I'll explain that to you guys in a couple minutes. But he basically said, you probably had 24 to 48 hours before you had 24 to 48 hours before you had a massive aneurysm, and you'd have probably died.
Enemy at the center.
So had a guardian angel looking out for me that day.
Check your fire.
But anyways, he said, I said to him, so he explained to me what they did. They basically I'm going to have a permanent drain from my cranial cavity, which is basically your head. So I'm going to have a permanent drain from a spot in my head all the way, so it goes from my head down behind my left ear, and then it goes over there's a tube with it's attached to a drain. This is a permanent drain to keep this fluid out of my head so I don't have an aneurysm. And it goes down over my rib cage and then down into the fatty tissue of my stomach. But that event put life into perspective for me. I basically got a second chance, and it definitely put things into perspective.
Enemies in the air.
That was one of the craziest times in my life. All that happened really quick. It wasn't like it's an overnight thing. I probably suffered after I got home from the military. I probably suffered for a year and a half or 2 years. It wasn't a fun experience until they really figured out what was going on. But I thank God for the people at Children's Hospital in Boston. And my neurosurgeon is still there. He is still there at Tufts Medical Center in Boston. I do see him occasionally when I go there. I try to say hi and thank you for saving my life. But yeah, Enzo, it was crazy, man. But that's the story, guys. That's the story of my kind of emergency brain surgery and how it ended my military career. Ended it realistically before it even got started. I mean, technically because I graduated basic, you can consider me. I mean, I think they consider me a veteran because I graduated basic training, I think. But it's so I kind of gotta I definitely put things into perspective for me real quick. When you get news like that, it's when you get a second chance at life, it's pretty humbling.
Friendly care package inbound. Stops a countdown.
But we could call that segment of this stream Story Time with Butcher. We could call that Story Time with Butcher.
Enemy counter UAV.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that little story.
Enemy has defused our bomb.
I think we're probably going to be streaming this for a little longer. I don't know how much longer, but maybe a couple hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that.
Counter UAV. We've lost radar.
I'm trying to get this gold camouflage on this thing, and it's kind of difficult, but I need
Bomb on target.
9 or 10 more long shots, and these maps that I'm playing on are pretty short, so
Bomb set.
I might actually just try and stay here and do that. Try and shoot at guys from far away.
Enemy at the junkyard.
But I appreciate y'all listening to me babble for a little bit. That's the story about my emergency brain surgery, though. That's the emergency brain surgery story.
Enemy at the office.
Sorry it was a little long, but it is kind of long, because it starts a long time ago.
Enemy cluster strike.
But I haven't had
Counter UAV active.
I haven't had any symptoms since I had that surgery, so definitely owe the team at Tufts Medical Center in Boston. Owe them for that one.
Mom.
But thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope everybody's having a good night. Tomorrow we will be halfway through the week and headed towards a long weekend. So that's going to be nice. Get that extra day on Monday to just kind of chill and do nothing.
Video games.
That's always a plus. But I hope y'all are well. Hope everybody's doing good. But I've been saying I was going to tell you guys that story for a while, so now you know. Now you know. That is the infamous Butcher's Block brain surgery story. We shall call that segment Story Time with Butcher. Maybe we'll make that a regular, because I got some stories I could tell you guys. Maybe we'll make that a segment on this channel while we wait for sports to come back.
The enemy comes for objectives. Defend
Maybe we will make that a segment on this channel. I'm looking forward to, definitely looking forward to this coming Friday, guys. That charity stream is going to be that charity stream that I'm doing this Friday is going to be a lot of fun. So for those of you who don't know, if you're just coming in here and seen a couple, seen the watching attendance has jumped up to 7. So if you guys don't know, I am going to be doing a charity stream this Friday. It is going to start probably sometime around 3:30 p.m. East Coast time, and we are going to run it until 3:30 a.m. East Coast time. We're going to be live for 12 hours.
Our objective was destroyed.
Yeah, Leedy, it was not fun, man. I tell you, it was not fun, brother. It was not fun. It was. I came back from the military and came back from basic. Came back from. Did my basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Came back from Missouri, and for 2 years. For 2 years, I was miserable.
Bomb planted on Bravo.
I was absolutely miserable. I had a constant headache. I had a constant migraine for 2 years. Wouldn't go away. Like I said, I was eating Tylenol like they were Skittles, and just couldn't feel good, man. Couldn't get well for like 2 years. But luckily, dude, fingers crossed, and thanking the man upstairs that I have not had a single symptom since I had that surgery. Enzo, I used to get them before before my surgery, dude. I had migraines that were debilitating, dude. I couldn't do anything. I had to. I would get them, dude, and I would get them, and I would have to basically put the shade down in my room and just go to sleep until it went away. And I would probably, I would eat eat a Tylenol, and then it would knock it. It would probably knock my pain level down from somewhere around, probably somewhere around a 9 or an 8. No, I would probably not the worst pain I've ever experienced, but somewhere around an 8. Probably 8.5 with the migraine and with the migraines. And if I ate the Tylenol on a daily basis, you know, on a daily basis, and on a regimen, you know, on a routine, it would probably knock it down to somewhere around a 3 or a 4. But it was pretty constant, man. And you know, when I would forget and run out of Tylenol, it let me know. It sucked. Like I said, I was miserable for a year and a half, probably close to 2 years. I don't know if it was exactly 2 years, but it was close. But after the surgery, man, after the surgery that I got, after that emergency surgery, and they relieved that pressure from that burst cyst, or from that leaking cyst, I should say, not a burst cyst, from that leaking cyst, it was, I tell you, dude, it was night and day, man. It was night and day. I haven't had a single headache, a single symptom since that day I had the surgery. Like I said, dude, I thank the man upstairs for giving me a second chance. I was in rough shape, dude. I was close. Like my surgeon said, man. My neurosurgeon told me that, you know, 24, 48 hours was the max before I had a massive injury. I was close.
Switching sides.
But it's like I said, it's events like that that kind of, you know, they put stuff into perspective for you. It definitely did for me. It put things into perspective, big time. It put things into perspective for me. Hey, your birthday's in a week. That's cool, man.
Enemy care package inbound.
That's cool.
Planting bomb. Watch for enemies.
But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Much appreciated.
We're planting the bomb.
Like I said, I hope everybody is enjoying their night, having a good night.
Enemies in the area. Reloading. Trophy system deployed.
Trying to get this crossbow I'm trying to get this crossbow gold. I need long shots, but they're, like I said, a lot of these maps are too small for that, so it doesn't help. And unfortunately, you got to kind of camp your way to those shots. But I really do want to go.
Enemy cruise missile. Enemy personal radar in the air. All fight back now. Reloading. Bomb defused. They are in control now. Take cover.
Yeah, I've told you guys I was gonna. I've kind of said I was gonna tell you guys that story a couple of times. It is a long story, so
Watch for enemies.
Reloading.
we haven't really had time to really run through it all. Because I've been we're usually busy calling games and just doing other stuff or doing trivia or just other, basically just other stuff has kind of taken more precedence in the streams. But when I'm just kind of gaming like this, I can talk to you guys pretty much about anything. So that's really do enjoy that. So it definitely gives me a chance to kind of hang out with you guys, and we can talk about whatever. Talk about whatever whatever you guys want. So it definitely did give me the opportunity to just kind of have some free time, because that's a long story. I believe I was probably talking to you guys for that about that story for like 20 minutes. So 15 minutes at least.
Reloading.
Enemy has defused our bomb.
I've only had this game for about, I want to say, just about a month now, so I'm still kind of getting used to the controls. It's been a while since I've actually played Call of Duty for a significant amount of time. The first, when I bought this PlayStation or when I bought this game, but like 3.5 weeks ago was the first time I picked up a PlayStation controller in probably 7 years, somewhere around there. Probably 6 years.
Enemy at the center.
It's been a while, but it's coming back to me little by little bit. I think over the last couple weeks I've gotten better. I'm pretty good when I'm not trying to complete challenges. I'm just trying to complete a challenge with this crossbow. So I'm not going to be, my numbers aren't going to look good when I finish these.
Reloading.
When I finish these games, but I'm basically trying to get this crossbow a certain camo. Once I get that certain camo, I'll run around with it and kind of do what I do with the rest of these guns, and just kind of play normal. But for now, I gotta try and complete this challenge. Missed. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Oh, I'm out of ammo. That sucks. Hey, we won. All right, cool. I got a question for you guys. Since we're just kind of hanging here, I got a question for y'all. What was your first gaming system that you guys started on? What was your first gaming system that you ever got?
I'm with you.
Mine was the first gaming system I ever got was Atari.
Enemies
That
in
is
the
what
area.
I started my gaming career on. I started with Atari, and then I moved to from Atari to the first Nintendo. I moved from Atari to Nintendo, the first Nintendo, and then from Nintendo I went to Sega Genesis. I went from Nintendo to Sega. Sega for freaking years and years. And then I got the first PlayStation 1. So the first edition of PlayStation, and I had that for a long time. I never had PS2. And then I went from I take that back. Excuse me. Take that back. I did yeah, PS1, and then I went from PS1. I got tired of PS1, and I bought I want to say N64, and then we had N64 forever. Like forever. We had N64 for a long time. And then I finally bought PlayStation 3, and then I had PS3 for a long time, 6 years probably. And then probably, no. Yeah. 4 or 6 years, somewhere in that range, and then I went from PS3 to 4. But I did take like I said, a 6-year hiatus where I went from PS, you know, my PS3 was the last gaming system I had. But what did y'all start on? What did you guys start on? I was Atari. Enzo says he started on Atari. Elias is Xbox. How many of you did you guys? So how many of you guys have had Nintendo? How many of you guys remember the game Battletoads? You guys remember the game Battletoads in for the regular Nintendo? Because that was my game.
Critical targets ID. Move in and destroy those positions.
Reload!
So how many of you guys remember that game? Because that was
Enemy at the construction
that was
site.
my game on Nintendo, man. Battletoads. I used to play that forever with my brother. Me and my two brothers used to play Battletoads for hours on it. When we were little.
Planting the bomb. Secure the area. We're planting the bomb. Watch your asses. Bomb planted. Start the clock.
Did any of you guys? So how many of you guys have had Xbox? Did any of you guys do Xbox, or were you strictly PlayStation guys?
Secure the area.
Or girls? Who's ever in here?
Bomb planted. Start the clock.
I've always, for me, I've never had Xbox.
Enemy
I've
at the
never done
construction
Xbox. I've always been a PlayStation game console person. I never could get used to the controller structure of the Xbox. It's too awkward for me. The controller structure for the Xbox is just too awkward for me to get used to. So I could never use it because the controllers were uncomfortable for me. So I've always just stuck with PlayStation. We won that round. There we go. 1-0. Me either, lady. I've always been PlayStation. When it comes to like the serious gaming consoles, I've always stuck with PlayStation. I've never done Xbox. Like I said, it's the controllers for me. I can't do it. I can't. They're just awkward. They're just awkward. I got nothing against the games or the graphics or anything like that. I just think that plus I don't like the Microsoft. I don't like the company Microsoft. So, and I know Xbox is affiliated with Microsoft, and Microsoft can go screw.
Enemy at the cargo container.
Oh, how did I miss that guy? Shot that arrow right over his head.
Enemy near Main Street.
But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Much appreciated.
Get to Alpha. Enemy
And
onslaught.
so to give you, I mean, to give you guys a little bit of to give you guys a little bit of, I don't know if it's history or just kind of the games that I play. Like I can't do third person shooter, third person perspective games. They drive me freaking up a wall. I hate that perspective. I really do. To be honest, I hate the third person perspective. I can't stand it. So I don't play a game that's based on a third person perspective because I just don't like it. So
Objective destroyed.
to stick to games like Call of Duty, like what's the other one there? I forget. There's another game similar to Call of Duty, but it's first person shooters basically, first person perspective kind of games.
Enemy at the destroyed building.
Well, Xbox Xbox has to do with Microsoft, and that's like computer software, Liddy, and I guess it's much easier to cheat with Xbox than it is with PlayStation because the like security parameters with PlayStation are a lot better. Like people can basically get around Xbox and the people that play Call of Duty on their PCs. They can get around the security measures a little easier than PlayStation. So, like I read a newsletter. I read a newsletter from I forget which gaming site it came from, but they said since the conception of this crossplay, they have banned 70,000 hackers. So they've banned 70,000 hackers since the conception of crossplay, which is that's a lot. 70,000 bans. They said something around the lines of like 80% of it has been Xbox and PC users. So I thought that was a ridiculous number.
Planted the bomb. Move it.
Somebody shoot that high.
Change your mags.
Oh, come on, man. I'm trying to complete this damn... Oh, I hit him, too. Oh, man.
The bomb has been defused. Planting the bomb. Secure the area.
Man. Damn. Oh, that dude caught it right in the face. Well, hold on, let's see if we can see. Oh, it doesn't show the arrow. I was trying to show you guys that when you hit it with the arrow, it shows it sticking out.
Planting the bomb.
I'll see if I can shoot one of these guys and show you. Oh, I didn't get it. Shot him with it, but I didn't kill him. Yeah, Liddy, I've always been I've just always been partial to PlayStation. There's just less hackers. There seems like there's less problems with it. It just seems like there's just less issues. And I'll take a system, you know, I don't want to have to be worrying about a bunch of other crap besides playing the game. I don't want to have to worry about all that. So that's why I've kind of stuck with PlayStation over the years.
I gave them something to think about. Good work.
Hey, BTG in the house. What's up, you on the game? Be on the game in the house. Hey, no worries, BTG, you're good, brother. You're good, man. What's up? What is up? Let's check on the progress on this, getting this gold crossbow, guys. What do I need? Oh, I need 6. So, I need 6 more, and then I can get the, Alright, hey, hold on, B. Let me, I can fix that, brother. I can fix that. Hold on a sec. Give me 1 second. I can take care of that for you, my guy. Okay, B? Okay. I take care of you. Let me know how that is, okay? Okay. Sorry, B. Sorry, bud. So, let me know how this sounds, B. Let me know how this sounds. I did turn it down. I did crank it down. The legend, though, BTG in the house beyond the game. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing down there in North Carolina? How you doing? That Rona still running rampant down there? It's kind of subsiding up here in Boston, thankfully. Thank God. The Rona is starting to decline up here in the Northeast. At least in Massachusetts. It's starting to slow down. Chilling. That's good. That's good, man. Speaking of that, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner, man. It's 8:18. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. Yeah, that's kind of the game that we're playing, BTG up here. It's every phase for us. So I think we have 4 different phases up here. Every phase is 3 weeks. Every phase is 3 weeks. Oh, did my game just freeze? That sucks. Well, that sucks. Yep.
Yeah, it's stuck. It's stuck on an opening freaking model.
That's excellent. All right. Let's see if I can do this without let's see if I can do this without crashing this stream.